Asmongold and scams. What could go wrong?
Nick Calandra did an investigation into Mark Kern, an ex-Blizzard employee, exposing him for scamming people for thousands of dollars. Uh-oh, what's this? I think my favorite thing about Mark Kern is that his third failed game... Why can't you...
Ember, I'm assuming? But that's absolutely stupid.
just call it something that's not weird?
Yeah.
Is this Ember? Like, this is the close... Like,
Probably.
I'm gonna call it Ember, okay? Because it's pretty close to Ember. And, yeah.
You know what? Just right off the bat, if you're pre-ordering something that's worth $1,500 and its name is Ember, spelled like that, to a degree you deserve to be scammed, okay? To a degree you 100% deserve to be scammed.
Yeah, we're gonna call it that. Has an option to buy Founders Packs for up to $15,000. So we'll open this dude up. Source, Founders Packs.
Okay.
It's right there. Yes, that's true. How is that a scam? I am not ready to discuss that yet because we're on page 1 of 10. All I'm doing right now is verifying that the information that he's providing is true. Like, let me go through everything else and then we'll come back to it. Because, like, whenever I see stuff like this, I always think to myself, is this really true or is it not? So...
That is the boldest lie Asmongold has ever said in his life. Asmongold is known to be one of the greatest. I watch a video, and whatever that video tells me is now the fundamental basic truth of life itself. The Logic Man has spoken. Bro, XQC questions videos more that he watches than Asmongold. Asmongold sees a video and it's instantaneously true. Oh my lord. What was the last one that he did? What was his last biggest failure at being a brainlet in this sense? What was it, that girl who played Monster Hunter and then she cheated? He watched the blindfold run and then he was like, oh my god, she's the bestest ever! Then he watched the exposed video by Coddle Jobsword. What was his name? And he's like, oh my god, she's clearly a cheater! I don't know if he... at that point, I don't know if he watched her trying to disprove everyone, but if he did, I would not be surprised if he went, oh my god, she's not a cheater! Oh my god. Since when do you care about sources or shit, my dude? Holy...
Oh yeah, let's see here.
That's
it's
good.
me though. All right, so let me make sure we've got this here. All right, so what did he say after this? We'll just go through his tweet thread, okay? Remember all the digging I did back on the day before? I like this sort of work. It's getting more interesting the more you dig on obvious fraudsters. This is as far as his latest project got before his last update 2 years ago. The updates were just concept art, nothing from the actual game because it doesn't exist. Okay, quite ethical, huh? Okay, so this is the last time that...
Okay? I don't get it.
Okay, well, I mean, this, like, where's this? Ember first playable
Welcome to
achieved.
another video update for Ember, jetpacking and gliding.
Wow.
Okay.
This is a huge update for us, as this is the first time you can pilot the on.
Well, it definitely seems like this is at least in the engine.
Backers can download this now at my.ember.com.
All right.
Okay.
Since fans first followed us, over this frame.
So you got these things, okay?
Be a multiplayer version of the movement demo, followed by guns and weapons.
I mean, you know, I was a big Armored Core 6 fan. I loved it a lot. So, like, I see this looks good. I mean, right? I mean, it's not... Like, obviously, it doesn't look as good as Armored Core 6, but... you know, this is all right, but this is 4 years ago. Like, what happened for 4 years?
Oh, wow, that's...
Okay,
yeah,
so let's see. But he's still taking money on it. Let's keep going, shall we?
No. Let's go a little bit back. I think I missed something here. This is as far as his latest project got before his last update 2 years ago. They uploaded... the updates were just... concept art, nothing from the actual game because it clearly doesn't exist. Okay.
Let's keep going, shall we? They're still accepting.
I mean, that sentence doesn't mean anything, by the way. I don't know what's good or bad about it technically, or how that even is related to being a scam. If you're trying to expose someone for being a scammer, by the way, making a post like this doesn't really do much. I don't get the point here. I mean, he's kind of aiming at something, but what exactly is the point here? It's kind of hard to understand.
Money, it seems like there's about 4 people working on the project, and they're very focused on revamping the website due to increased attention. You might think that he's using all of this Twitter outrage to find a way to get funding.
Okay, is that bad?
This is March 2024. Okay.
Wait, so it's still active or it's not still active? I don't understand. I'm so confused.
I do think that this isn't true. I don't think that it's true that he's using the Twitter outrage to get money. I think Mark Kern just doesn't like it. I actually think it's that, so I think he just doesn't like it.
Could be
and
possible.
Obviously he's going to get more money with it, but I think that if you want to go through and, like, at that point...
Also, again, this statement is not anything bad, because if for example I'm doing whatever and suddenly it gets more attention and, you know, people are going to the website, yeah, I'm probably actually gonna do something to make the website better if there's something missing or whatever. That's like a very important thing that you should do. It makes sense.
Every single person who has an opinion on everything on the internet usually always has something that they're monetarily connected to. So, like, if you view it as in every single time that somebody complains...
Basic Asmongold logic. People who look at things are connected monetarily to something random, yes. I agree. I am looking at my hand and I am connected through money to my phone. Asmongold is 100% right on this statement. How is it not the dumbest, blatantly fucking retard statement ever, though? I don't know.
It's about something, they're actually doing it for an ulterior motive. I think that you could apply that to anyone, right? So we'd have to see more evidence that, like, this is explicitly what the reason is, right? Because I think that just saying, like, oh, well, he's only doing this to, like, make his game more popular... Like, you could say that, like, what is this guy doing? Are you only doing this to make your, like, whatever this is?
Okay, the second half of the sentence almost made sense. I'm proud of you, Asmon. You're, well, not really getting better, but you know, it's progress.
More popular or whatever this is? Probably not. You just have an opinion on this. And so there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not everybody is doing things that you disagree with just for money. Sometimes people just disagree with you and you know, they're stupid or you're stupid, right?
Wait, who's doing things for money? This guy who made the post is implying he's using this to get money. Where is the other... Why is there now a third party of people doing things for money? Is he implying this guy?
Money. Sometimes people just disagree with you and you know, they're stupid or you're stupid, right? That's it. They post updates every day on this forum thread if you'd like to see how much progress is being made on the game. Okay, let's see it.
Okay.
Well, this is March 30th, and today's May 7th, or April 7th, so... Yeah, it seems like they're not really... Oh, I see the date now. All right, yeah, I get it. Okay, that's fine. But, you know, it's pretty regular, right? It seems like it's being updated regularly. I'm still not seeing how it's a scam. Yeah, we've got...
They post updates, yeah. Again, none of the stuff that this guy has currently said is actually showing that it's a scam.
Got some more of it. How about FOMO? Putting skins on sale for a game that doesn't exist, only for a limited time, so that suckers give them money for things that have...
FOMO is not a scam also.
Zero value. Been selling skins for a game that doesn't exist since 2017. Impressive. Yeah, I think this is stupid too. I think that this is stupid whenever Ashes of Creation does it. It's stupid whenever, you know, PoE did this even, right? Like, I'm pretty sure they sold skins and, you know, different types of packages before the game actually went into, like,
Yeah. I think PoE did that. That's true. I think, yeah. There was some kind of founder stuff. There were like $300 crates or $500 crates, and people could have their items made in game and whatnot. But there's a difference, okay, between not all of these things are even remotely the same. PoE did that stuff. I'm pretty sure they did when they were pretty much ready almost, but they wanted more money to actually make things better and whatnot. There is a difference if you're selling that stuff and the game is not even in its initial stages, or you're doing it when the game is close to launch, when you want to just iron out the bugs or whatever, and you need a little bit of extra ka-ching because of it.
Full release in, like, what was it, 2014 or something like that? So, like, PoE did it. I mean, I think the big one, right, is Star Citizen does that too. So yeah, this is
Nice.
it's not a good thing, but it is a pretty common practice that
Scam Citizen, rise up, boys. My grandchildren are gonna love that game, and you better know it, assholes.
this type of thing has. Let's see here. It gets better. They also had a monthly subscription service. Not only are they making a game, but he's also making a novel, a tabletop RPG. Notice how he doesn't advertise any of this on Twitter, because even his audience would call it out. Well, so if he doesn't advertise any of it on Twitter,
Yeah, I mean, even Asmongold understands that's not necessarily a scam.
then why is he using it as a reason? So he's using Twitter outrage as a way to get funding on the thing that you admit that he's not advertising on Twitter.
Also,
I mean,
yes, that's actually a point.
Okay, but let's go ahead and move on, because even his audience would call it out. Makes sense, yeah.
Also, that doesn't work like that. This is not proof. You cannot say, oh, this guy doesn't use Twitter to advertise his board game, because then his audience would call him out. You don't fucking know if his audience would call him out. Why would if his audience is gonna call him out, why would they only call him out when he tries to advertise on Twitter? How does that make sense on the most basic of levels? And two, you're presenting something that is an unknown thing, unknown outcome that has not happened, and cannot be known as a fact that did happen. You're saying they're gonna be outraged if he does it on Twitter, but he hasn't done it, so we don't know if they're gonna be outraged. It's just an assumption made to be fact. Probably an Asmongold viewer.
USD help fund the development. $7 monthly. Patreon.
Yeah, but Asmongold's not gonna call it out. Asmongold is very well known and very good at listening to someone speak and then creating their whole narrative, why they're doing it, what's the point of it, and what's their motivation and whatnot behind it. Good times. Anyone remember Melanie? What was her name? Melanie Black? Don't remember, but that girl, where he completely created out of thin air her narrative for why she's doing things and her personality. Good times, good times. Asmongold, you really should, stretch out and do more things involving other people. It's hilarious.
On.
Melanie Mac, there we go.
I mean, everybody, like, this is a very common practice, and I understand if Nick isn't happy about this practice, and I think he has every right to be upset about this practice, because oftentimes it can be used in a predatory way where people get taken advantage of. I think that he's right. However...
Wait, excuse me, what's the predatory practice here?
Nick isn't happy about this practice. I mean, everybody, like, this is a very common practice, and I understand if Nick isn't happy about this practice, and I think he has every right to be upset about this practice.
Okay, I'm confused. What's the practice? Monthly subscription? Is that an evil predatory practice? Is having a board game an evil predatory practice? Because this is not the FOMO thing. The FOMO thing was this thing right here, or above. So, what is this magical predatory practice Asmongold talking about here?
This because oftentimes it can be used in a predatory way where people get taken advantage of. I think that he's right.
How are people gonna get taken advantage of about this post? What's the... Oh, it gets better. He also has a monthly subscription service. Not only are they making a game, he's also making a novel and a tabletop RPG. Okay, so maybe the predatory practice is having multiple things attached to your main thing? So, you know, if you're a YouTuber and you're selling merch, maybe that's a predatory practice in Asmongold's opinion. I'm completely lost. What is the predatory practice that takes advantage of people here?
However, I don't want to single out Mark Kern and say that, like, he's somehow uniquely bad in this situation, because...
And what? I have no clue. What situation? How can you read this and then call... Okay, I need someone to answer. I need a true Asmongold fan to explain to me what is the predatory practice here. I need a true Asmongold fanboy to answer, because, you know, everyone obviously understands everything and self-inserts everything that needs to be said. What is the self-insert here that people have figured out?
As there's a lot of games that, I don't know if he's covered these games or not, but there's a lot of games that do this. There are many games that have Patreons that people subscribe to on a monthly basis whenever the game isn't out. Like, this is, I don't know, guys. I feel like this is really normal.
Okay, so Patreon? We don't even know if it's a Patreon monthly subscription service. It just says subscription service. I don't think this is even Patreon. Can you even make that be a Patreon? Okay, so, yeah, I guess... Okay, so in this case, it's everything that has not been released, if it has a subscription service, is bad? Okay, I mean, fair enough, I guess?
Normal. Just saying in development a long time is not always a scam. You're right, but sometimes it is.
Wait, so are we... Wait, I'm confused. So currently, are we buying that this is a scam, or are we not buying that this is a scam? Because when I clicked on this video, I read the title. Ex-Blizzard employee exposed for scamming. Yeah, this is not a typical Asmongold video label. So there's also something going on here.
The game's been in development since 2017. He promised backers a playable demo in 2020 and never delivered. And all they've shown in 7 years of development is concept art. Well, that's not true.
We don't know if that's... I mean, he doesn't show anything. And yes, this is not concept art for sure.
Did show one gameplay reveal here.
I mean, we don't know if that's one gameplay reveal here, honestly, because there's a bunch of videos here also, and you know.
Assuming that, like, maybe this is a vertical slice, maybe this is... And what that means is it's like, it's not really a demo, it's just like a very small version of the game that makes it look like it's a full game. But, yeah, maybe that's the case. But, yeah, I mean, I can see why people would be frustrated. I'm not ready to call this out as a scam, though. I don't think it's a scam yet. Let's go back further, where he raised another $1 million for an Oculus Rift project that got a reveal trailer and then died.
Nice.
Okay, so this was 9 years ago and the project died.
Wait, didn't the Oculus... No, wait, I don't know. Is Oculus Rift even a thing anymore? Okay, it's a steampunk dragon?
Okay.
Oh, it's pixel art. I hate it already. Anything pixel art is bad in my opinion.
So anyway, yeah. Did he raise? So he...
I just can't. Pixel art is just... Well, I did play, what's it called? Loop Hero or whatever. But, you know, I hate pixel art in general.
Raise the money. Most projects don't like out, still not a scam. Yeah, and also, like, did he raise the... You're using the word raising the money.
Yeah, but there's no real proof of that. You just posted a trailer.
I think this is very different. Did he raise the money through investors, or did he raise the money through the public? Because if investors invested in something that was bad for whatever reason, like, they go into that knowing that, like...
To be fair, in this case, investors equal the public for stuff like this, because if you are giving to a GoFundMe or whatever for a game creation, well, you're pretty much an investor to a degree, but you're not getting money back. You're getting, well, you know, probably a shitty skin back.
Like, anybody who's in venture capital knows this. A lot of games fail. Like, I mean, fuck. Blizzard basically canceled Overwatch 2, they canceled StarCraft Ghost, and they canceled Project Titan and the survival game. So yeah, I mean, I don't really I mean, you know, Mark Kern comes from Blizzard, so the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So that's just the way it is. What's the rest of it? I've done some digging. I've found something cool later today to continue. Here's his motive for all of this, in case you were wondering. If you want to help me change the gaming industry, like my most recent expose on the community manager and their secret discussion groups, please subscribe. It's about money because he wants to do this. I'm not really...
It's money? Because, okay, it's money because he said please subscribe. I mean, yeah, if we do the Asmongold boil down everything to the lowest common denominator, I guess subscriptions equal money, so big true?
Like, everybody, so, like, this is true, but it's also true, like, it's true and it's not true, right? So, the truth is that Mark Kern has a brand of politics that is incredibly unprofitable. So if he was doing all of this for the money, wouldn't it logically make more sense that he would just adopt mainstream politics and make more money? No, I don't think that people...
I have no idea if that's true or not. I don't know who Mark Kern is.
...that have bad opinions that nobody agrees with. I don't think this is necessarily the fact that they're doing it all for the money, but also everybody needs money. Like, I think that anybody could easily say that, like, I'm doing it all for the money because videos like this get posted on YouTube and then I get ad revenue from them. But everybody's doing that. It's the same as Sweet Baby is doing it for the money because they're getting paid by the companies that are...
See? Lowest common denominator. Everything is at the end money. You live in a society.
...paying them. Everybody's doing it for the money because everybody needs money.
Yeah.
I don't think that there are any, like, in general, like, yeah, there are people that are more and less, you know, I'd say, like, ethical with doing things like this, maybe a little bit. But for the most part, I think that it's all pretty much...
Okay. So, I have seen this multiple times, and I doubt that this is where Asmongold is going to decide to change his life around. When Asmongold says true but not true, he typically doesn't explain one part of the equation. Here he's explaining why this is true, but I am willing to bet that he is not going to explain why it's not true. But when you do something like this, you're supposed to explain why it could be true and why it could not be true. Or, you know, why it is true and why it's not true from different aspects.
It's the same. What's wrong with that? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And this guy, again, I mean, he's got a link directly. I mean, here's the thing, right? You go over, you look at this, keep your shit from falling apart. It's a new game. So he's got a game right here advertised on his page. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with doing this. But the truth is that based off of the same foundational argument that he uses against Mark Kern, it can be applied to him. So should we not take his argument?
Yes, Asmongold, that is very right. This is why we don't fucking typically boil life down to the lowest denominator when talking about everything, because everyone is right always when we do that. If we boil everything you have said down to the lowest denominator, you have been right about everything, yet at the same time everyone has been almost right about everything. This is why we don't do this in real life, because it's retarded.
Argument seriously, because he falls into the same category by his own reasoning. I'm sorry, but I just don't think this is very good argumentation. So where's the rest of it? Had fun digging. All right, his fault.
See? See, he didn't explain why it's not true at the same time. Again, he's gonna only explain one part.
Followers are tagging this in him to tell on me. You can't make up how stupid it is. It's comical at this point. I have him blocked. Right now, let's see if he wants to explain himself, where the money's going. He won't. Will Grumps, who's the person who's going to save the game industry from all these awful people of ethics mishandling money, accept subscription payments and sell skins for a game that doesn't exist in any form, how long are you going to string people along, who keeps tagging people as followers to dogpile and harass, and who he knows.
Okay, so as far as I can honestly tell, this guy just has a fundamental misunderstanding about one thing. It doesn't matter if you're making a smaller game, as, you know, an indie developer or whatever, and you're taking donations from people and whatnot. Yeah, that doesn't mean that you're gonna make a game in a year or two. Developing an indie game is still gonna take probably multiple years, 5 plus, 6, 7 or whatever, because you're less people, okay? So it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be fast. So the idea that a game is not ready in like 4 years, but people are still taking in donations for the game, is actually kind of normal, because that's how it works, technically. There's a lot of games that have done that and have succeeded at the end. Because, that's just how it works. You can't just take the money in for a year and then, we're just done. You can't keep selling those things while you're making the game. This is something a lot of games do, and it doesn't necessarily make them scams instantaneously. But it does create a risk of you actually buying that stuff or donating money to them, because you don't know if the product is actually going to succeed or be made, because they can actually run out of money. A bad purchase, a bad thing, something fails, they need to start over. There can be so many different reasons.
To run game studios for, ever talk about how he's more than happy to milk gullible people for their money. I don't really like this idea that if you are tagging people and criticizing their actions, that you are dogpiling and harassing them. Because again, if you say that, then aren't you dogpiling and harassing Mark Kern right here? I don't like that logic, because the implication is that you can't criticize people on the internet.
This is fine, because this is not actually boiling things down to the lower denominator, by the way. Okay.
Which is ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He's right on this
You
one.
absolutely can. And if he doesn't like something that a person posts on a public platform, then he can express that dislike on a public platform. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't understand this. This feels very petty. Yeah. His lack of game updates are very concerning. Well, let's see. How much...
I don't even understand. What was it? March 30? And what do people honestly expect? That game updates are going to happen every day? Because, dude, listen, I'm not a developer, and I think computers work on black science. There's no fucking way anyone's going to convince me, this bunch of gates, it's turned 1 to 0, and blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up, okay? That is not how technology works. Black magic is so much more a reasonable explanation why computers work than fucking bunch of gates, zeros, and then those zeros decide that this part of the screen is gonna be purple or not. Okay, shut up. That's clearly not how this works. But even I understand the principle that, hey, if you're designing a game, you're not gonna update every single day, because chances are you're taking more than a day to make something.
Holy fuck. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's a lot of posts, though.
Oh my god. I think that I've already pretty much, like, I just read through everything, except for I did not read this part.
This seems very useless, honestly.
So, this is what I think.
I mean, is this project most likely a fail? Yeah, I assume it is. I assume it's most likely not gonna see the light of day. But, was it a scam? At this moment, if this is the proof, if I have to base my verdict on was this a scam based off of this, I'm probably gonna say no, honestly.
I think that
this guy did not convince me of anything.
Nick brings up a very strong point, and I think that Mark Kern does need to answer these questions. And I think that making video games nowadays that seem to turn into vaporware without regular updates, because, for example, Ashes of Creation has had regular playable updates regularly. Star Citizen has had a playable state of the game for quite a while. Now, also Star Citizen...
Okay, listen, Star Citizen start was way worse than whatever the fuck we're even talking about here. So Star Citizen was not a scam at any point, and this is definitely also not a scam.
Citizen sells things for way more money as well. And they're making another game too. So I do think that Mark Kern does need to take some accountability for what seems to be a vaporware project that people are putting money into randomly. So anyway, I think this is very fair, what he's saying here about...
The last update was March 30th. Huh. When was March? Probably, I don't know.
The game, and like, so there's two separate
true?
things. Crumbs, any like 50 complaining about my hot girls and games? I'm gonna be 50 complaining about hot girls and games.
Strange.
I absolutely will. I'll be doing it when I'm 60 too. And
I think you're gonna die from vitamin D deficiency by that point.
70, hopefully, right? 80, hopefully. 90, hopefully, right? Yeah, let's be honest.
No.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What the hell? I think that this is...
Anyway, are we done? Oh, there's a bigger Reddit post? What is this? Okay, let's jump to it. Let's see what's happening.
20 years after Blizzard. I hear his name a lot. It's always ex-Blizzard Mark Kern. What's he done since then? I have no idea. Killed by shitty management. Majority of what Nick is saying or pointing out, but I'm going to levy some nuance here and tell my own anecdote. Nick, as a gotcha, he proclaims sheer existence of the proof is something to be bad as a scam. Expensive founders packs can exist without the project itself being a scam, and I recognize that. Yeah. Like, a lot of games have really expensive founders packs, like PoE, Lost Ark. Well, I mean, Lost Ark doesn't really have
Lost Ark, I don't think had that.
expensive founders packs. You know, they just have expensive gameplay. And, you know, Ashes of Creation, Star Citizen,
No, they don't.
right?
Dude, I hate when people say, I played Lost Ark, I played free to play. I was in the newest trades every time they released, no problem. Didn't even do dailies every single day, dude. Zero problems. Didn't play on 20 accounts. Played on like 5. Didn't even pull fucking resources. Dude, it's not even close.
This is very common. So yeah, Kern is... So this guy thinks that Mark Kern is clearly scamming people. This game hasn't moved forward beyond the concept art, and we're at like the 7-year part. It's like Mark Kern saw Star Citizen and copied their homework. I'm gonna...
It does look a little bit like that, true.
be honest.
But, again, it's like... We don't fucking know shit, and the evidence provided here doesn't seem that bad at all. Because, again, this guy at the start... you know what, at the end of the day, I don't really care too much. If you're spending if you're spending 1.5k on a founder's pack and the game's name is Ember with an 8, you deserve to be scammed, in my opinion. It is what it is. But yeah, it's like nothing he provided here seems like scam. And this guy blatantly, Nick blatantly lies about in his post when he says, "Oh, there's nothing but concept art." Well, you can clearly see in the YouTube channel that there's more than concept art. So there you go. But making a tweet thread and saying, "Oh, but there is something more than concept art," does sound bad for you. So yeah, I think we're absolutely done here, boys. Anyway, this was Quizzer Said. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye bye.